Hello, I'm Austin Anderson, and this is Homeowner Hacks with Burton. My garbage disposal smells like a dumpster fire. My wife kept blaming the smell on me, which I knew was a lie because I smell like body spray, which is delicious. So I gave Steve a call over at Burton, and he's coming over to check it out and tell me what's going on. Well, this is where the horrible smell of death is coming from.
Right. As you're using this, lots of food, soap, everything goes in here, and it's a metal mechanical system there. So it getting wet, all this food, gunk, grease, soap and everything, over time, you're going to build up bacteria inside of this garbage disposal.
Sick.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty in there. You don't want to put your hand in there. You can see all the gunk in there.
Yeah.
You can see it gets rusty and stuff
Yeah.
inside there. Some people will try baking soda, vinegar, they'll pour it in there, let it set overnight. It might get them some relief for, maybe a week or so. Out there on the market, there are products that will, you put in here and it kills the bacteria. It's these little pods you can get from Home Depot, Lowe's and stuff. Put that in, let it set overnight, it'll foam up. And that will get you some relief for a period of time. But you're always going to keep using this and stuff. So it's eventually at some point, once it gets unbearable or you start getting a mechanical fault in the garbage disposal, that would probably be the time to replace that disposal at that point. Now, there is some things you can do to make your garbage disposal last longer, and you want to try to keep those blades sharp if you can.
Yeah, how would I do that?
Some people, what you can do is you can put ice, pieces of ice, just pack it in there. You don't pack it full, but get a bunch of it in there and then just turn it on. It's going to make a god-awful noise, all right?
Yeah.
It's going to sound like it's tearing up everything, but that's actually sharpening the blades. It'll take maybe 2-3 minutes for it to crunch through all that ice, maybe run some water while that's happening. That's kind of what you can do there to keep those blades sharp, try to make the garbage disposal last longer. The pods are what's going to help with the smell. Now, if you get to a point where it just won't turn on, all right, I sit there, I put stuff in it, I turn it on, nothing happens, or you hear a humming noise. If you're pushing this button and it's not starting, sometimes the hose comes off of the mechanics underneath and it's just not getting that air switch connection. That's
Okay.
as simple as it is. Some people, and most people, they'll have an electrical switch over on a wall, and that's what turns it on and off. If that's not working, well, then there's other things you can do to try. Maybe it's jammed. There's a wrench that comes with the garbage disposal. You put that underneath, there's a slot underneath the garbage disposal. You crank that manually, it's real hard to turn, and you'll see the garbage disposal move back and forth while you're doing this, but eventually it'll crank it loose sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think I have the wrench for this, because it's fairly old. Can you go to buy that particular wrench, or are they different for each?
No, it's universal. They're pretty
okay.
much universal, but you can go to any hardware store and get one, Home Depot, Lowe's, and get one. One comes with the garbage disposal when it's installed.
Okay.
All right, but of course that was 7-8 years ago.
Yeah.
It got thrown out when you were throwing other stuff underneath the sink out during spring cleaning.
Right.
That's what happens. Don't worry, I got one. We can test that first. If you're sitting there, you're trying to start the garbage disposal, you're doing your air switch, that's not working. Or you have the light switch, that's not working. If you sit there and use the wrench to try to crank that out, get it to unjam it, none of these things are working, that is the time to give me a call. All right, because at that point you could probably be doing more damage than helping you. Get us out here, let's take a look at it, let's find out exactly what's going on with it. Let's get you back to where.
Yeah, awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, what I learned from Steve is that there's no real way to put out the dumpster fire permanently. You have to replace the unit after a certain amount of time. So if it's your garbage disposal's time, just call Burton.